Warning, this podcast may contain graphic violence, sexual themes, and bad language. If our language offends you, we apologize, but we do not give a fuck. Be mindful of your kids listening.
The Evil Never Dies podcast.
Would you like to see a magic trick?
Yeah.
Tell me your name.
Taylor.
I was really starting to like you, Finny. I almost let you go.
Don't hang up. Who are you?
You know all our names?
It doesn't work. Hang it up. I made you some breakfast.
What'd you put in that?
Salt and pepper.
Have you seen this boy?
My brother, he was taken.
By a man with black balloons.
I had a dream about it. Please let the dreams be real.
You're getting out of here.
How?
There's a combination lock.
What's the combination?
You don't have much time.
You're gonna use a weapon.
You are special, Vinny.
Please hurry.
Ooh, the creepiest damn thing.
What's up, evil ones? I'm Brett here with Carl. We're the hosts of the Evil Never Dies podcast. How's everybody doing tonight?
Everybody's great.
What's up, man?
Well, so originally we were going to do the top, I think, first 10 Judas Priest albums, and you wanted to do the entire catalog, and that's going to take a little more time. So Brett had told me a few weeks ago, he said, "Say, man, watch Blackphone." I'm like, "Well, it's at the theaters." Well, it showed up on Peacock, so I watched it Friday night, and I was like, "Brett, we should review this movie. It's a new movie. We don't do a lot of new movie reviews. I can't even talk. So let's do it."
All right, man.
So I want to warn everybody ahead of time. This is a brand new movie, Blackphone. It's still at the theaters, but if you have Peacock, you can watch it now from home. So this is spoiler alert. We are going to spoil the movie. So if you haven't watched it, you might want to pause, go take a watch of the movie, and come back to us at this very moment.
Exactly.
New movie spoiler alert. You know, we're not doing nothing from 1952 this time.
All right. The Blackphone. It was directed by Scott Derrickson. Screenplay by Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill. It's based on the short story The Blackphone by Joe Hill. You know who that is?
Not offhand.
That's Stephen King's son.
Ah, that's interesting.
So And this was from a collection of short stories he did called the 20th Century Ghosts that he released in 2005 in the UK. And then I don't know why it took so long to get released in the US, but it took 2 years for it to get
COVID,
released.
probably.
This was back in 2005 and 2007, so it's been out for a while. And I've heard this on actually I heard of this before the movie come out even. You ever read any creepy pastas? You ever read any of that stuff?
What in the hell's a creepy pasta?
Scary stories and shit.
No.
But I had
I've never
actually
heard it called a creepy pasta. No.
Yeah, it's a website called Creepy Pasta.
Oh, no, I don't.
People post scary stories they write, and somebody had reposted this on there, and
Well,
I
shit.
think
Maybe I need to go check it out. It sounds. See, I learned something new tonight.
Yep. And I had actually heard this. Somebody had read this story on a podcast somewhere.
Now I'm hearing rumors that this is based on some kind of reality.
Based on some sort of reality, huh?
Like a real story, like what you're saying from the creepy pasta, that maybe some of these stories have a little bit something valid to them. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was about something that happened, and he just wrote about it. I
don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not real familiar with this movie since I just watched it Friday. So I did a little bit of research. The first thing that came up is Black Phone based on a real story. So I started kind of looking into that. And so
yeah, it's based
urban
on
legend.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
You know how many of them there are around? There's lots of them for sure. So, all right. It's produced by Jason Bloom, Scott Derrickson, and Robert Cargill.
Bloomhouse.
Finally, Bloomhouse put fucking something decent out.
Hey, don't slam on Bloomhouse. Damn it.
Cinematography by Brett Jakowitz.
You say you didn't was.
Edited by Frederick
I'm fucking him up now. I'm fucking him up.
Edited by Frederick Thernall. Music score by Mark Conover. Production company, of course, Bloomhouse Productions and Crooked Highway. Distributed by Universal Pictures. Running time of 103 minutes. It was released. They had a screening of it down in Austin at Fantastic Fest September 25th of last year. And then it was actually released in the US here June 24th of this year. And I guess it was supposed to be released February of this year, but you know how shit gets delayed. So
yeah, everything's been fucked since COVID, really. So it sounded like this movie had some other issues besides COVID. I don't know.
All right, the budget was between 16 and 18 million, and it banked 152.8 million at the box office so far as of June 1st or August 1st.
So it's done well.
Yes, it has.
Well, there hadn't been many horror movies out this year. I can't get comfortable for some reason.
You know, there hasn't been any. All right, let's go over the cast here. A lot of these people in this movie are basically unknown. So
I know. I looked a few of them up, but I couldn't find much of anything on them.
All right, Mason Thames as Finney. Madeline McGraw as Gwen, Finney's sister.
She did a wonderful job in that movie.
Yes, she did. Ethan Hawke as the Grabber. Jeremy Davies as Terrence. That is a Finney and Gwen's alcoholic, abusive father. E. Roger Mitchell as Detective Wright. Troy Rudseal as Detective Miller. James Ransone as Max, the grabber's cocaine sniffing brother. McGill Cazares as Robin. He played Finney's friend, and he was also a victim of the grabber.
And he was also really good in the movie as far as acting.
Was. So, want to go over the plot a little bit here? Or?
Well, it starts off sort of as one of those retro 80 movies, I guess.
Well, actually, it took place in 1978.
Well, that's close enough. It seemed like they sort of put it in the 80s more. I mean, I guess it had a little bit of set. It's more of an early 80s vibe.
And supposedly took place in Denver, Colorado. Because when it first opens up, Finney's at playing a baseball game, and you can see the mountains in the background. You can definitely tell it's Denver for sure. And Finney, he's sort of like he gets bullied a lot and gets the shit beat out of him a couple times.
Yeah, he did.
For sure.
He did. He's sort of just kind of a.
But basically, young boys are getting kidnapped, and they dub this guy that's taking them
the grabber.
And he drives a black van and has black balloons in the back. And
yeah, when I first started watching it, though, like I said, I got that sort of the new It vibe and some of that Stranger Things vibe, like it was going to be one of these, kid power, teenage power movies where they were going to run around fighting some monster killer, but it took a detour.
Yes, it did.
Because it started out, they're in school, and like you said, he's getting bullied, and him and the sister have the abusive household, and
yep.
But yeah, it took a turn. And I like movies that turn like that too.
Yep, exactly.
Because I had no idea what direction this thing was going in.
So after Finney's friend, the Robin, ends up getting taken too, and how many was it? Like 4 or 5 before him, but the Robin was the last one that got taken before the Finney kid.
Now he's the kid that was defending Finney.
Yep, the Robin. He
actually beat the crap out of some fat kid, like beat the living crap out of him, and then he scared 3 other bullies off.
Yeah.
So he's quite kind of a tough kid. Looked like
he was just a little bitty kid too.
Little bitty kid. Looked like he could have been Native American, maybe Hispanic. He sort of had an ethnic look, but
yep.
He sort of he had a really cool look to him, is the way I could describe it. He had an attitude, but he was a little kid.
Yep.
But again, I can't find anything about these actors because
I can't either.
I'd love to find out more about this kid because he could be a big time star. I think.
Yeah,
I think all
of them could.
Yes,
for sure.
But yeah, he's kind of the tough kid. But the grabber tries to grab him, and well,
he got him.
He's being the tough kid,
and
he fought back, and the grabber left him for dead.
Yep. So then the Finney, he's walking home from school with his sister, and his sister starts walking the other way, and he's like, well, where are you going? She's like, oh, I'm spending the night at what's her name's house or whatever. And so Finney's walking home by himself, and all of a sudden this black van pulls up, and the grabber gets out and has a bag of groceries and drops them on the ground, and he was like, oh, do you want to see a magic trick? And
the dumb fucker falls for it. Like there's a grabber on the loose, and you're like, oh, a magician. So that part of the movie was a little unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, fuck that. There's a grabber running around, and you're gonna watch some stranger jump out of a van and do a magic trick. Yeah, that was a little silly.
So he got grabbed, and
He's grabbed, all right.
the sister, she keeps
Yeah,
having psychic dreams about all the kidnappings and stuff.
and the drunk daddy keeps like wanting her to stop.
Yeah, I guess
And like
their mom is dead.
the mom is dead, and
So
she had psychic abilities like the daughter.
yeah,
So the drunk daddy beats the shit out of the girl because he doesn't want her to end up like her mother, which
yeah,
dead. So that was sort of a weird twist too. I mean, usually you don't see
exactly.
movies where they, the I don't know. It's hard to. I'm gonna have to watch this thing again after the review because it's hard to follow. But he's beating up the little girl physically and not really beating the little boy. So that's sort of a different twist there. They usually don't beat the little girls up in movies.
Yeah.
So
Well, he really pissed her off when she broke his bottle of vodka.
well, yeah. But he's
Oh.
like really abusing the shit out of her physically.
Yeah,
But he
I
appears to
forget what
be.
that guy's been in something. He looks awful familiar. I can't remember what he's been in, but he's been in a couple other movies that I've seen, but I can't remember what they are. But uh, so I guess she told a couple of her friends at school that she'd been having these dreams. So the police come to the school and start asking her questions, and she basically cusses them out. And
Yeah, she cussed him out literally.
yeah, and she doesn't know at this time that her brother's been taken yet. She is spending the night over at that friend's house, and her dad calls over there to see if she's seen Finney, and she says no, and you just see the look on her face, and she just drops the phone and fucking runs out of the house and runs home and gets there, and all the cops are there and everything looking
She's very
for him.
protective of the older brother, even though she's the one that's being beat.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Well, a lot of families are like that, though, you know. So
well, she also beats the hell out of the three bullies with a rock.
yeah,
That's
she
in
hit the
her.
one on the head.
I thought that kid was gonna die actually when I was watching it.
Yeah, you sit
He's
there
like
and you
laying there
just see
like,
blood just
ugh.
start dripping down his
Yeah.
face, and
I was like,
then
shit, she just killed this kid.
the other kid kicked her in the face, and
Yeah, he beat the shit out of her.
and
In this new woke time, you don't see little girls getting beat up like this. It's sort of disturbed me even.
yeah,
I've kind of become, used to the new world here, and I'm like, I shouldn't be seeing a little girl being beat up by a boy. This is not cool.
exactly. So then it goes to the grabber's basement. He's got the Finney in the basement, and Ethan Hawke was just a fucking weirdo in this, man.
He certainly was.
It's like for seeing his face only twice in the whole movie. The rest of the time he had a mask on, or part of a mask, half of one part of the mask, and then half of the other part of the mask, and yeah, it was just crazy. That mask was sort of cool too.
Yeah, you said you figure that mask will be in spirit this year.
Yeah, probably for sure. I'm betting on it. So the Finney is down in the basement, and the grabber keeps coming downstairs and asks him his name and tells him a different name, and
The grabber's pissed over that.
he got pissed over that. He says, I was really starting to like you, and I was even thinking about letting you go, but not now.
He lied to him. He lied to the grabber.
So the Finney's laying on the only thing that's in that basement really is a mattress in
a bathroom.
In a bathroom with like a couple rolls of carpet, which will come into play
later
in a little bit here. So he's laying there on that bed, and he looks up at the phone. The grabber tells him that ain't worked since I was a kid, so don't even try. Don't work. Don't even try calling out on it. So then the grabber goes back upstairs, and he's laying there on the mattress, and all of a sudden the phone rings.
Of course, that's the title, Black Phone.
So he ends up answering it, and I think the first couple of times nobody said nothing to him on it until the second or third time when it rang, and it ends up being the I don't know, would you call them ghosts or spirits or what of these other 4 or 5 kids?
They're not ghosts. I can't think of the proper term right offhand.
Entities, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Sort of a projection.
But yeah, they keep calling him. And,
sort of a psychic projection is what I would call it from a ghost hunting point of view, if that were part of the case.
Okay. So they keep calling him and giving him little tricks and shit to try to get out of there that they had tried, but they weren't able to do it. And yeah, it was just fucking weird, dude. They don't know their names. He asked them.
Yeah, they don't remember who they are. Yeah.
One of them.
I guess they've been dead so long that they forgot.
Yeah, they said they don't know their names and the place that they're at. So, let's see here. First one he talked to was the Bruce kid, which was a baseball player that at the beginning of the movie.
That's right. We didn't cover that. Yeah, like I said, he's pitching to him. Yeah.
Yep.
Again, it was sort of an 80s, even though he said it was a 70s sort of movie. And yeah, they're playing baseball, and the pitcher, strikes him out.
Yep.
So yeah, he got grabbed. So it's sort of weird. Everybody that got grabbed sort of had a semi connection to this kid.
Yep. Well, they knew about all these kids coming up missing over the news.
It's a small town too,
Yep. So,
but yeah, the pitcher got grabbed, and he's the first one that calls him.
And he tells him about the floor tile in the floor. There's a loose floor tile, and to dig a hole to try to get out underneath the foundation. So he goes and finds it and starts digging and digs a hole, and takes one of the rugs and covers up the hole so the grabber can't see it. And then the grabber finally brings him some food, and when he goes back upstairs, he leaves the basement door unlocked.
Yeah, I think the grabber did that on purpose.
Yeah, he did do it on purpose. So he's getting ready to open up. Finney's getting ready to open up the door and go upstairs, and the phone rings, and then it's Billy the paper boy on the phone, and he tells him. Then they show he's actually, his ghost is in the basement with him, talking while Finney's listening on the phone to him. And he tells him, "Don't go up there, man. He's waiting for you. He wants you to play this game, and where he's going to beat the shit out of you, and you're not going to like it." So He ends up not going up that time. And meanwhile, the sister, she keeps having these dreams of the house where all these kids are being kept at. And even has her dad take her drive her around in the car looking for the place. And
Yeah, the dad's sort of come along with the visions now that the son's been kidnapped, it seems.
yep, exactly. So then we go back to the basement and the phone rings again, and Billy instructs him he had hit a electrical cord along the foundation of the wall, and told him to use it to pull the bars out of the window to try to escape that way, to climb out. And he actually pulls the bars out and puts them in the hole that he dug. Now I don't understand how you would have thought the grabber, when he come down, he would have noticed that them bars were gone.
I don't get that either. I thought that was a little strange.
But it was sort of cool how he tried just lassoing the cord over them bars, and he couldn't get it that way, so he took another one of that piece of that rolled carpet and leaned it up against the wall and fished it up through the center hole of the carpet roll, and actually got it that way, and tried crawling out, and couldn't climb up. The wall was too slick. He couldn't get no traction. So then the final time he was doing it, he broke that thing out, broke them bars out of there. And like I said, he put them in that hole that he dug, which will come into play here later too. And let's see here. What's next? Oh yeah. Then we go, the cops are going house to house looking, and the two cops go to this one house, and it ends up being Max, the brother of the grabber, and he's all into this case. He's got a map on the wall and trying to figure out what's going on, where this who this is, trying to figure it out. And he invites the cops in to talk to them, because he didn't know it was his fucking brother. And got a big pile of cocaine on the fucking thing on the table. And they tell him he tries telling them his theories and stuff, and they don't want to hear nothing about it. They just tell him to you might want to clean house a little bit here. Oh, all right. So Griffin ends up being the next ghost that he's talking to. He tells him about the front door of the house being padlocked shut, but it's his padlock off his bike.
That was weird too.
Yeah, and he says, he keeps telling him, I can't remember the combination. I can't remember the combination, but I do remember that I wrote it down on the wall. So he's like, Finney's like, well, where's it at? And he's like, it's on the corner of the wall about shoulder height, and he finds it, but it's not in combination order. It's just the numbers. So he don't know what,
so yeah,
he don't know which numbers are which,
whether it's 33 or 3 and 37 or 33
exactly.
and 7. So
he tells him that the grabber's asleep in the chair,
which he was.
He's like, how do you know this? And he's like, we're there with you. We can see everything that's going on. So he goes up and tries all the combinations, and then the fucking last one, he finally gets it and opens up the door, but then the grabber's dog hears him and starts barking, wakes him up.
Where's
And
the brother through all this stuff with the dog barking and the grabber sitting in the kitchen?
well, we're gonna get to that at the here
Okay.
later.
Okay, I'm confused because there's two places involved here. I'm lost a little bit.
Well, I think he's in the other place during this. So
I think you're right, but I've only watched this once, so I don't have it completely. But yeah, that makes sense why he don't hear the grabber's dog.
So the Finney gets out and starts running down the
He did
block.
get out, yeah.
But I don't know why the grabber got in his van and chased him 500 feet. That was another thing that sort of got me too.
Well, I think it was weird. He put that kid's combination safe to lock the door. I mean, did the grabber not have a lock? So he's, this would be good to lock up.
Maybe he thought that nobody would ever get the combination. So
well, how did the grabber find the combination?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe the grabber's psychic as well.
Or maybe he made the kid tell him the combination.
I don't know.
Before he killed him. Who knows?
We're just analyzing shit now. We're over analyzing.
Oh shit. So he runs the Finney kid down and he tackles him on the sidewalk and tells him he's gonna gut him like a fucking pig right here in the middle of the street and strangle him with his own entrails.
So that way he doesn't yell because people are looking out the window and the doors at this stage.
Yep. So he gets him back in the van and gets him back to the house and punches him in the face first, knocks him out, and then takes him back to the house and takes him back down the basement, throws him on the bed. And then the phone rings one last time. And not one last time. The other kid calls back again and tells him that there's a way to get out through the wall in the bathroom through the freezer. There's a freezer on the other side of the basement wall. And so he takes the toilet lid and fucking starts beating the bricks out of the wall and flushing the dirt and shit down the toilet. And finally gets through and takes the toilet apart to get there's a steel plate on the back of the freezer, and he takes a washer out of the toilet and unscrews the back of that and gets in the freezer, but the freezer doors are locked from the other side, so he can't get out that way.
Yeah, that was a lost cause.
Waste of time, I guess. So, but so then the phone rings again, and it's his friend Robin. And
yeah, that's the kid that I was real impressed with.
Yeah,
I actually looked up. His name is Miguel Moro. He's never been in anything other than this.
Yep.
So this kid might become a huge star here one of these days. Really impressed with his acting in that.
So he tells him, hey, this is it, this is your last chance to get out of there, and he's telling him, don't cry, he's like, I'm not crying. He goes, yeah, you are. I can see you because I'm here with you. And he tells him, you gotta fight back, He goes, what did I tell you before? And he goes, to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's true.
And then he goes, after that, and he goes, I got to stick up for myself.
Yeah, and he told him, you're a fighter.
Yeah.
You got to fight. You got to fight.
So he tells him to take the phone, and the old time phones, you could unscrew the headset, the speakers, and the microphone on the headset, and he told him to put dirt in there to make it heavier.
I used to
And
do that because I could, I guess. I'm that old. Yeah, I used to unscrew the phones just like in that movie,
yeah,
just to
I
see what
did
was in
too.
there. I want to know what was in there.
Yep. I did that too. And one time I actually ripped the goddamn fucking microphone out of the one. And this was back in the day when you actually rented a phone from the phone company.
I remember that.
And the old man was pissed because he lost his fucking deposit because I ripped the fucking microphone. He had to go pay for another
God, I
phone.
remember that. You didn't own your phone back then. You had to rent. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Because I remember the first time they were allowing people to buy the phone, my grandmother's like, I need somebody to take me down to the AT&T and I'm going to buy me my own phone. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I
Boy,
remember.
she would be mesmerized in this world with these cell phones.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my old man was pissed off about that, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
Have to explain how his idiot kid ripped the fucking microphone out of the fucker.
Oh, Lord. So anyway, he decides, tells him to rip the phone apart like Brett once did and fill it up with rocks and make
Yep.
it into a weapon
Yep.
and beat the grabber. Hit him and beat him. Just like he beat up the chunky kid and the other three kids. Beat him, beat the grabber.
Yep.
So he does. He gets some rocks together and fills up the phone.
Yep. So and he also rigged up a little trap too. I don't know where he got the eye hooks for, but he screwed them on each side of the hallway leading into that bathroom where he dug that hole. And
Exactly. So the
he
grabber,
fed
he
fed
can.
that cord through them eye hooks and had it loose, and then ran back on the other side of the hole. When the grabber came down to kill him, well, first the brother ends up finding him. He goes in the kitchen. He's looking at
Oh
that
yeah,
basement door, and he's like,
that's right.
"There's something going on down there."
Yeah, after all these, how many people he's kept down there?
Yeah, for
Grabber
sure.
finally, fucking
So the brother
brother
goes
finally
down there and
shows up.
he goes down there and he sees the kid down there and he's like, "Holy shit!" And he goes, "Hold on, I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm gonna get you out of here." And then here comes the grabber with a fucking axe and axes his fucking brother in the head.
He certainly did. Very graphic scene too.
Yeah, it was. And he pulls the axe out of his brother's head, and he's like, I was gonna take it. I was gonna make it quick on you, Finney. He goes, but you done pissed me off now. And then he whistles for his fucking dog. And here comes the fucking dog down the stairs. And he ties the dog to the corner of the wall and put him on just a long enough leash where he could get in front of the door so the Finney couldn't run out on him. So he has the phone in his hand, and he ducks underneath the grabber guy and runs to the bathroom area.
Where that
And
hole is.
where the hole is, he jumps over the hole that he's got covered with the carpet, and the grabber's chasing after him, and he grabs that cord and pulls that cord taut, and the grabber trips over it and falls into the hole and lands on that fucking grate from the window and breaks his fucking shin in half, man. Compound fracture to the max. So he's stuck waist deep in the hole, and the Finn just starts beating the shit out of him with that phone.
Boy, did he ever.
He beat the fuck out of him. And
The grabber deserved it.
and then he gets behind him and he had like a 3-4 foot piece of the phone cord on the phone, and he wrapped it around his neck and like sat behind him and started choking him and put the phone part up to his ear, and all the dead kids were talking to him, telling him, you motherfucker, it's your turn now. And then the Finney puts all of his weight on the cord and breaks the grabber's neck.
And the grabber is dead.
The grabber is dead. But he still had to get out of the basement, and the dog was there. But when he had opened up that freezer, he'd thrown some steaks out onto the floor. So he took one of them steaks and threw it over to the other corner so the dog would get it. And then he just walked upstairs and again got the combination lock, undid it, and went outside. And the cops were all across the street at his other house. There we go.
Well, we talked about the second location
where he had buried the bodies of the other kids he had that he killed. He kept the kids in the one house where he would torture and murder them or whatever, and then take them across the street to the other house and bury him in the basement at that house. So he comes out the door and his sister's at the across the street in the front yard at the other house. She must have been waiting for him. Because all of a sudden the coroner's pulling up and all this shit, like, and she's thinking, "Oh fuck, is he in there?"
He's
you know?
Dead, yeah.
And then she looks up and sees him walking out the door, and that's basically it.
That's it.
The end.
Until the sequel.
And I read that they might be doing a sequel.
That's what I read too.
So it probably won't be as good as this, but
no.
Because if you listen to the last couple weeks ago episodes, you'll know that.
Right. No, when we were, yeah,
when we did our top 15.
Yeah, but what about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3? It's the best of the whole series.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I've ruined your theory.
But anyway, you got anything else you want to add about this movie, Carl?
I was very impressed with it. It surprised me. Hard to follow. Gonna watch it again. Two of those kids acting in it, I'm gonna try to follow their careers because I could see them both going a long way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, man.
Well, the kid that was in the main role was good as well. They were all good.
Yep. Yes, I quite enjoyed it.
Hopefully they get their credits and move on to bigger and better things.
Well, that director, wasn't he didn't he direct some DC or no Marvel comic movies? I forget which one he did. He did a couple of them, I think.
That's why you're the host and I'm the co-host.
I don't know. I forgot.
We're at the end here. So
yeah, highly suggest this movie. Sorry if we spoiled too much of it, but
we warned you.
We warned you. We had to review this. It was so good. So there's not many new horror movies coming out that are really worth a shit anymore. So big props to Blumhouse, man. They did a good job on this for sure. And that director.
Yeah. So what do you want to rate this as?
I'm gonna fucking give it 5 fucking stars, dude.
God dang.
Yeah.
5 stars from Bubba. That's a little.
This is the best psychological horror that I've seen in a while for sure. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm giving it 5 devil horns for sure. So highly recommend if you ain't seen it. So
I'll give it 4 bloody meat cleavers, I guess.
4 bloody meat cleavers.
Because it's a pretty gruesome movie.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but pretty damn close.
Yeah, it was.
Especially for a bunch of unknown actors, especially with the kids. They just really blew me away with their they're better than some of these Hollywood bigwigs, like
Yep.
that Miley Brown's, whatever the hell her name is, from them Stranger
Nelly.
Things. Yeah. This girl was way better.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
everybody's probably heard, I'm not a big fan of the whole Stranger Things series as it is. So
Well, this season I thought it was sort of
I don't watch it.
strange.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's called Stranger Things. You can't fuck up the Demogorgon thing and make it and fuck that up. I don't know. Well, that's in the discussion for a free for all, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's all we got for tonight.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Again, we hope we didn't ruin this for you. Go give it a watch, man. I'd actually even like going to see this in the fucking theater, dude, for sure.
It's still in the theater.
Might have to go check that out, dude.
Now,
sure.
next weekend, we're going to be busy building the haunted house after we slack this weekend.
It's too humid.
Yeah.
Too humid and humid.
All right, everybody.
All right. Check us out on the social medias. Got merch. Check that out. I'm going to start putting all this stuff in the show notes. So thanks for listening, everybody. And stay evil.